Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be discussing about some confirmed transfers and rumors, and also we are going to be analyzing a shock deal that just went through recently. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the video. The first transfer I'm going to be talking about is Alexander Golovin moving from CSKA Moscow to AS Monaco. Now this is a bit of an interesting transfer because a lot of big clubs were after him, like Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City. All of these big clubs are after him, but instead he chose to go for AS Monaco. Now the reason this is an interesting transfer because he didn't choose any of those big clubs, he just chose Monaco. It's not that Monaco isn't a big club, but Monaco isn't at the level of those clubs. The only reason that appeals that he went to Monaco is that he wanted to develop himself before making a move to the biggest stage. As he can flop, he might know that he can flop, so he want to develop himself and gain some experience and then take a big move. But this still isn't the reason that clarifies that why he went to Monaco over those big clubs. Yeah, this is a satisfying reason, but it's not that much satisfying that it can actually answer some people's questions and some sources questions. But let's get on with the detail of the transfer. The transfer details are that AS Roma signed him for an undisclosed fee, which they haven't revealed yet, and they signed him on a 5-year deal. Of course, he is very young, just 22 years old, so that makes sense. And also, it looks like that he is going to be a starter because the main reason why AS Monaco bought him is to replace João Moutinho, who is just headed to Wolves for around 5 million. Now, this is a great deal of business by AS Monaco. They have done some great business there. They have got a great player for the future, and it looks, and AS Monaco, as usual, they develop great young players into some outstanding players later on in the future, and that's what AS Monaco have done. They've taken a young gem and now they're going to develop it as they have done over the years. Another transfer I wanted to talk about, now this is the shock deal I was talking about in the video earlier in the video. That Andre Schürrle just moved to Fulham. Now he didn't move on a permanent basis, this was just a loan from Dortmund, but this doesn't make any sense. He moved to Fulham on loan from Dortmund. Now why would anyone want to move from Dortmund to Fulham? Fulham were just promoted, they don't have that much of a talented squad, they weren't that great in the championship. They came up through the playoff system, and now after signing Jean-Michel Seri, they have signed Andre Schürrle on a loan deal. Andre Schürrle, as we know, had been performing not well but was decent for Dortmund, and I think Dortmund were not happy with him, or he just wasn't happy with his role at Dortmund and wanted to move. So he, I think, wanted to try out some different approach. He wanted to try out a different club, which he will be the star man and will be starting week in and week out, and I think that's one of the reasons why he has moved to Fulham. Also, this is great business by Fulham as they have signed Jean-Michel Seri and now they are signing Andre Schürrle. They are trying their best, I think, to not only survive but actually finish mid-table in the Premier League. I know this is a lot from a club that just got promoted recently, but they are trying their best, and I think they can achieve it too if they keep signing players like these for this kind of money and for these kind of loan deals. I mean, they just signed Jean-Michel Seri for 15 million, and he didn't even go to Barcelona for I don't know, 200% more than that. He didn't even go to Barcelona for that, but he came to Fulham for just 15 million, and Fulham are doing some great business. Just like Wolves, they have been getting some great players, some experienced players, which can help them stay up. Also, now Liverpool are looking at Domagoj Vida, the Croatian international who helped his team to get to the final of the World Cup. Now he was solid in defense for them. He did not allow many people to get past him. Him and Dejan Lovren, they did a very great partnership, and they almost stopped many of the goals, many of the passes going through the defense which would have gone through normally. So he did, after having a brilliant World Cup campaign, he is now being spotted by Liverpool as their replacement for Dejan Lovren, as we know that Dejan Lovren haven't been performing as good as he can perform at Liverpool, and has made mistakes. So Liverpool are looking to replace him with a more experienced and I would say better defender than Lovren in the form of Domagoj Vida. Now, Vida currently plays for Besiktas. Besiktas are asking 30 million for his services, but Liverpool are not agreeing to that after having splashing the cash on Ellison, Shaqiri, Fabinho, Keita, all of those big transfers. This is a considerable fee for Liverpool, so they are trying to lower it down and they are allowing to pay only 22 million, which Besiktas aren't accepting. So the negotiations are currently going on. But if he does come, since Vida is 29 years old, it must be noted that he won't come for a long period. Yes, he can come for like 3 years, 32, and then he will start to get off his prime. He'll start to slow down a bit. So yeah, Liverpool are just looking for short-term replacements, but they should also see long-term replacements, and Domagoj Vida is not one of them. But it would still be a great signing if it goes through for Liverpool, as their full squad would be rebuilt. It would be overhauled. Their squad would be overhauled. Their midfield would be perfect. Attack, as we know, is already perfect. And then defense, replacing Dejan Lovren with a defender as capable as Vida would also make a great defense. With a keeper like Ellison, they can genuinely be contending for the title with Man City and United on the trail, and they can even win the Premier League, and who knows how far they would go in the Champions League, or may even win it if they are building a squad like this and if this deal goes through. Of course, not only because of this deal, but because of the transfer business they have done, they can do anything now, and they are one of the teams to watch next season. Now, staying in the Premier League, staying in England, a news came from Manchester United that Anthony Martial is looking to go to Chelsea. Now, United and Mourinho, they of course don't have him in their plan, but they're not allowing him to leave for Chelsea or for any other club until they get a replacement for him. Now, what Mourinho actually wants, he wants Willian to come from Chelsea, then he will allow Martial to go to Chelsea, and this can live up in a player swap. Like, they can say, give Martial to Chelsea and take Willian from the other side. And if this does go through, I think that Martial will have a great season under Mauricio Sarri, as Sarri is an attacking manager, and the problem with Martial have not being able to do much at Man United because Mourinho is a defensive minded manager. He likes to catch teams on the counter attack. He does not like to attack much, so this is why Martial hasn't been able to do much and hasn't been that good as he was earlier, as he was showing the potential. Hasn't been able to do much at United because of this, and so this move might be very great for Martial and also for United and Chelsea. Both of the teams would benefit from that. But the problem in this is that Chelsea is one of the rivals of United, and they are also contending with United for the title, so they wouldn't want to make their opponents strong or give a better player to their opponents so that they can have a better campaign. But this is not what is actually happening. Both of the teams are getting equal players. I would say that Willian is better just because Anthony Martial has less experience and is developing, but still Anthony Martial is one for the future, and William is just a short-term replacement that could do better for 1 or 2 years maybe. And yeah, both sides will benefit from this, but because of the rivalry of both, this might be a tough transfer, and Anthony Martial would have to look for other options like Bayern Munich, who are also interested in Anthony Martial. But the problem is that Bayern Munich are not being allowed by United to buy Martial because, of course, they need a new winger, and that winger will be to replace Martial. And Bayern Munich, of course, have a lack of winger, and they are not being able to give any wingers to United to replace Martial, and though a player swap is being unable. Of course, talking about Bayern Munich, one player that is unhappy at his role at Bayern Munich and has grown frustrated over Bayern not being able to do much in the Champions League, and him not being able to participate in many of Bayern's games, is Thiago Alcantara. Now, as we talked about Martial moving from United to Bayern, Thiago might be moving from Bayern from Bayern to United, and this might be a player swap I was talking about. He's not a winger, he's a midfielder, but still Man United are interested in him, and it might be that Man United give Bayern Martial and they take Thiago from him, or they could just pay the fee of Thiago, which Bayern haven't said any. They haven't put a simple price tag on Thiago. They have said that the doors are open for negotiations, but we are not gonna say how much we want for you. That they are just saying give us a first bid, then we will tell us to give our response that how much we might consider selling him for, which is a bit of tricky thing for United to do. But actually it looks like the United and Bayern negotiation have been going well, as United have put a bid of 60 million reportedly, and it looks like that Thiago could be on his way from Bayern to United. But there are still some problems in this transfer, as Chelsea is also rivaling Man United for the transfer of Thiago. Although Man United has outbid Chelsea and is on the edge of signing Thiago, Chelsea could still put a deal and is still eligible to do so. And if they are able to do so, they'll have a great midfield with Jorginho, Kante, and then Thiago, which will be, I think, better than Man City, than any in the league, in the Premier League. Will have the best midfield in the Premier League, and they can be seriously contending for the Premiership if Thiago comes to Chelsea. But of course it's tough, as Man United have more money right now because of the Champions League and so on. And so yeah, let's see how this one develops. Also, Real Madrid are reportedly taking interest in Harry Kane for replacing Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, this hasn't been the best of rumors, and it hasn't been so much on the brink of being done or something, and it hasn't been that strong, but still it is a rumor which have been going on for like the last 2 seasons or so, that Harry Kane has been linked to Real Madrid. But Tottenham, as we said, he is their star man. I don't think that Tottenham will sell him, and if they will, then it will take a massive 150 million or something above like that to let him go from Tottenham to Real Madrid. But still, the links are not as high as the other players who are linked to Real Madrid, whom we will be talking about in a minute. This is not all, as Harry Kane has just renewed his contract for 5 years with Real Madrid. Now with Tottenham. Now this is going to be tough for Real Madrid, and has made things more tougher, because now they would have to pay even more than 150 million, or they might even have to pay 200 million or something like that to get Harry Kane into their system, because the 5-year deal, of course, if it was less than that, he might be running down his contract, then they will have to pay less. But he has just signed a 5-year deal, which would make things more difficult for Real. An easier target for Real Madrid though is Eden Hazard. Now he has been strongly linked with Real Madrid, and it looks like that he will be heading to the Real Madrid come the end of August. But still, Maurizio Sarri has made it clear that he will sell Eden Hazard for nothing. Even if Real comes with a bid of 200 million, he won't sell him. And this is not all, because a video clip just came out from Hazard, which indirectly confirms that Hazard will be staying at Real Madrid. I know it is not the most apparent of sources, it is not the most strong of sources, but it can happen, as Eden Hazard wants to make more of an impact, and we couldn't see that in Antonio Conte's time. Of course, he had a brilliant season, but he didn't play as we all know he could now that Sarri isn't, and he's also an attacking manager. This could benefit Eden Hazard, as Hazard will be the focal point and will be the man who takes their attacks, who scores goal for them, creates assists, gives key passes, and he might be the man on whom the formation is based of Maurizio Sarri. Who knows? We'll have to see how this one develops. But if Real need Eden Hazard, they will have to poach him from Chelsea for about 150 million or 100 million, something like that, because Chelsea, they have made it clear that they are not going to sell Hazard, and it looks like that Real would have to step up their game if they want Hazard or someone else as quality as him to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. That's all for the video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and if you are interested in other rumors and you know other rumors by yourself, please write them down in the comments below, and also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any videos like these. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.